power company is looking to add thousands of solar panels to your homes, and they're planning on doing it all for free. Find out how you can qualify. And a Department of Defense program is supplying local law enforcement with surplus military equipment. Cronkite News is tracking just how many of these weapons have made it to Arizona and which ones are going back to the feds. This evening's gubernatorial debate is fast approaching. We have a breakdown of what you can expect to hear from the candidates and how it relates to their campaign spending. Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News. I'm Megan Thompson. Thanks for joining us. We begin our coverage with Arizona's race for governor. The four candidates are less than 30 minutes away from tonight's gubernatorial debate right here on Arizona PBS. Tweelon Nugent is just outside of where the debate will take place with a closer look at how much money is being poured into this race. Tweelon?
In less than 30 minutes, the debate will start in this room right behind me, but chances are you've already seen arguments from the candidates on your TV screen.
Doug Ducey cheated franchise owners and walked away with millions.
Lobbyist Fred Duval made middle-class families pay more. Come on, Fred.
If you spend any time in front of a television, you've seen the negative attack ads from both candidates for governor and others running in the November election. All those ads are one of the reasons the Center for Public Integrity says Arizona is one of the top states for campaign advertisement spending. Arizona ranks 7th in the nation with an estimated $12.4 million spent this past year on TV ads. Although Arizona has clean elections, which provide money to candidates who don't accept outside funding, many candidates for top offices don't participate. Tonight's debate is sponsored by the Clean Elections Commission. Although none of the candidates are clean election candidates, this debate will be.
You know, this is your opportunity to set aside the ads and whatever spin, and hear directly from the candidates. This is the candidates' opportunity to speak with you, and it's your opportunity to hear from the candidates. And part of being a voter, part of being a participant in this process is to get engaged with it.
Not only will Ducey and Duval be here, but so will Libertarian Barry Hess and Americans-elect candidate J.L. Mueller.
Tweelon, how much money has been spent on ads like this for the gubernatorial race?
Well, Megan, so far $10 million has been spent just this year, and these candidates are putting a lot of dollars into their campaign ads. So far, Fred Duval has run 580 ads, and Doug Ducey has run 381.
Thanks, Tweelon. We'll keep an eye on those numbers. Again, that debate is just less than 30 minutes away. At 5 p.m., you can head over to watch the candidates face off on Arizona PBS 8.1. We'll have a full recap tomorrow on Cronkite News. Well, in Washington today, the Vice President and Secretary of Education announced which community colleges are recipients of their $450 million worth of education grants. The Central Arizona College Pinal County Community College District received a funding total of $10 million. That wasn't the only district to obtain funds in Arizona. Tucson's Pima Community College District received funding of just under $2.5 million. The grants are focused on assisting 270 nationwide colleges with building career-focused training.
The President and I, from the very beginning, with the help of Arnie, knew community colleges were the hidden treasure. My wife says it's the best kept secret in America. We're trying to make it no longer a secret.
This is not some kind of gift. This is an investment. This is an investment in school leaders, in businesses, in people who are trying to do things in a very, very different way.
We have new developments right now in the controversy over Arizona State University's campus police and its arsenal of M16s. Cronkite News has learned that the university will return the 70 rifles it got under a federal program granting military surplus to local law enforcement agencies. ASU police had originally told Cronkite News that M16s would be used to protect students in an active shooter scenario. A university spokesperson says police are already in the process of returning the assault rifles. But that's not all of the arsenal received by Arizona law agencies. Cronkite News reporter Stephen Hicks joins us from Washington Bureau with more. Stephen?
I'm standing in front of the Embassy of Mali because after going through Arizona's use of the 1033 program, it turns out that they have more armored personnel carriers than this entire country, as well as a few more. Implemented in the late 90s, the Department of Defense's 1033 program was designed to transfer surplus military equipment to assist local law enforcement. The agency that oversees the transfer says that preference is given to law enforcement that will use the equipment for counter-drug and counterterrorism operations. I spoke with Bart Graves of Arizona's Department of Public Safety, who says that the transfer, which comes at no cost to cops, is essential in saving taxpayer dollars on what law enforcement would need to buy anyway. But in recent years, Arizona has acquired more armored personnel carriers than almost anywhere in the country. Arizona's 29 APCs put it fourth in the nation, just behind California, Florida, and Texas.
There seems to be no limit for how many they should get, what they should get. If they're getting mine-resistant vehicles in a place where there are no landmines anywhere in the entire country, then you have to wonder what's the limit for them in terms of what they'll take and what they won't take.
In fact, when comparing the number of APCs across the different agencies in Arizona, we found that they have more than 17 entire countries, according to the annual report from the International Institute for Strategic Studies. On top of Mali, a little further down the street here, is Niger and Latvia, two more countries that have fewer APCs than Arizona. For a more detailed list, head on over to CronkiteNewsOnline.com. Live in Washington, D.C., Stephen Hicks, Cronkite News.
Pass it over to Carrie Osip now with a look at what's next. Carrie?
This season's storms has caused indefinite road closures for a popular mountain roadway. Cronkite News reporter Colton Krolak takes us there to see the damage and how it can affect your week's plans. And one company has plans to help you update your home's power source, and it won't cost you at all.
Brothers and sisters, can you tell me where to go?
The women were breaking the glass ceiling.
That just thrilled me.
We're traveling back in time to help solve family mysteries. No.
Wait, that's
Amazing.
a new deal for the American people.
We wouldn't be who we are without them.
I just gotta get on back to my home at any cost.
Who were the people that got us from there?
A world without glass, clean drinking water, time, or light.
To here.
These were hobbyists, garage inventors, and obsessive tinkerers. These are people who actually made the modern world, who set off an amazing chain reaction of ideas.
It's the story of How We Got to Now with Stephen Johnson, coming in October, only on PBS.
I'm standing up for myself and for other people like me.
Wow. This is a bit odd.
Are you okay?
It's kind of insane, but in a good way.
Welcome back to Cronkite News. A new plan for solar expansion has been announced. Cronkite News reporter Chase Golightly shows us how one power company plans to install 3,000 solar panels on homes, all for free.
Will be the most significant undertaking a utility has done in rooftop solar, in residential rooftop solar, so far in the history of the United States.
Solar panels can be seen all across the valley. From homes to parking structures, solar panel installation has increased tremendously over the last 10 years in the U.S. Arizona was ranked #1 for most solar panels installed per capita, according to Environment America Research and Policy Center. And now, APS plans on expanding solar power even more.
We proposed this program to meet a need. Our customers, we know, want rooftop solar.
The program would allow APS customers to have solar panels installed on their roofs for no cost and also receive a $30 credit on their bill each month. The plan is expected to generate 20 megawatts of power.
And 20 megawatts in utility speak is enough power to serve 5,000 homes.
If the plans are approved by the Arizona Corporation Commission, APS will start an online application process. However, customers are already asking to be on the list.
We already have about 1,300 interested customers on a customer interest list. It's driven by media alone. We haven't done any advertising on this.
Although they won't have their full electric bill paid for by the solar panels, people are willing to give the alternative energy a place on their homes. In Phoenix, Cronkite News, Chase Golightly.
APS hopes to have the plans approved before the end of this year and the 3,000 solar panels installed by the end of 2015. The valley is still recovering from the storm this weekend, but one popular destination may take months to restore. Reporter Colton Krolak joins us live from South Mountain Park.
Many of South Mountain's roads were damaged during August rainstorms. Repairs were underway, but this weekend storm put road crews back to square one.
Disappointing, and it sounds like it's not going to be open for at least 3 months.
Many people drive to South Mountain to enjoy the view from the summit. However, due to Saturday's storm, they may have to wait a while.
The road is closed to not only motorists vehicles, but also bicyclists, runners, walkers, hikers, pretty much anybody in the public.
South Mountain is no stranger to road closures. In fact, crews were close to fixing the roads after the last major storm damaged them more than a month ago. Now, all that work has been lost.
This is a destination for people to come, bring their family members from out of town, or people who live in the valley to drive up to the top to see the view.
This valley resident planned to do just that with her parents who are visiting from out of state. She says unfortunately they'll have to reschedule.
It is pretty disappointing. I wish that they could see that, so we're going to probably have to wait until they come visit another time for them to see that.
Almost all the trails are still available to hikers. However, it might take a little bit longer to get to. Park officials are asking anybody who comes to the mountain to be prepared and bring plenty of water. Live in Phoenix, Colton Krolak, Cronkite News.
Even in the best of weather, hiking still carries risk. Tana Hughes introduces us to one woman who is coping with her own family's loss by helping others survive.
Yeah, since 2011, 5 people have died on Camelback Mountain, including 3 this year alone. Now, one family is working to make sure all hikers consider safety their top priority. After undergoing a multi-million-dollar improvement renovation to increase safety and sustainability, there are still accidents happening on Camelback Mountain. But the question remains, are they preventable? Chelsea McHale is an advocate for safe hiking awareness. Her brother, Clint McHale, died after slipping and falling on the mountain back in 2011. She says accidents can happen to experienced hikers. The problem is that they are ill-prepared.
That's when I started working with the City of Phoenix and Parks and Recreation and created this safety sign that is now up on the mountain on the Echo Canyon side. And it has this picture and his story. And it's not a memorial sign, it's meant as a safety sign in hopes that you see that this young person did die, they were experienced.
Most accidents on the mountain occur from heat exhaustion or dehydration. McHale hopes that these signs will bring more awareness to the hikers. Camelback Mountain is one of Arizona's most popular hiking courses, but also one of the most treacherous. When taking on this trail, you want to make sure you have all the right necessities to make it through safe. Aside from water, prepare a backpack with a hat, sunscreen, extra battery life for your phone, and a flashlight.
But also knowing that when you start to get tired and really thirsty and you don't have that much water, don't continue with your hike. Turn back around, or even before you get to that point, because you do have to come back.
It is also important to be aware of sunrise and sunset times so you aren't hiking in the dark. Yes, as we learned in this hiking story, that dehydration and heat exhaustion are 2 of the biggest things while hiking Camelback Mountain. They don't suggest that you hike the mountain in 110-degree weather, but as we can see at our current temperature maps, it's starting to cool down to hiking weather. As we see at our national current temperature map, it's currently 61 degrees in Portland, Oregon, 58 in Billings, Montana, 66 in San Francisco, and 88 in the Phoenix area. And as we take a closer look into the Phoenix area, we can see that fall is finally here. 88 right now in the Phoenix area, 71 in Prescott, 61 in the Grand Canyon, and 61 degrees in Flagstaff. Cooler temperatures from what we were experiencing last week. And as we take a look tonight, our lows are going to be 80 degrees in the Phoenix area, 57 degrees in Prescott, 45 in the Grand Canyon, and 50 degrees in Flagstaff. And taking a look over into tomorrow, 92 degrees, sunny and bright expected. Now, Saturday we did experience a heavy thunderstorm here in the valley, more treacherous than what we thought was going to happen. But as we take a look back at our 5-day forecast, We're going to see that is going to be sunny and bright through the rest of this week. Tuesday through Saturday, expect temperatures in the low 90 degrees and no more monsoon weather coming to you anytime soon. I'm Tana Hughes, Cronkite Weather.
Thanks, Tana. And now here's Sydney Schumann for a look at what's next.
A center in the Valley is battling chronic pain with cryotherapy. Find out how some patients are turning to extreme cold for treatment.
News doesn't stop on Friday at 7:30 at night. PBS NewsHour Weekend is kind of a natural next step. The NewsHour's been committed to being available on air or online, and now weekdays or weekends. There's no shortage of news that's out there, but why do people come to us? To give them some context and analysis that they can't find somewhere else.
PBS NewsHour Weekend, only on PBS. Check local listings.
These extraordinary Americans all share one thing in common, a past they never knew until now.
It's incredible.
In his new season on PBS, Henry Louis Gates Jr. helps them uncover the truth about where they come from.
I can't believe these documents even exist.
Wow. Get to know them as they discover who they really are.
That's pretty amazing.
Finding Your Roots with Henry Louis Gates Jr. starts Tuesday, September 23rd at 8, 7 Central, only on PBS.
I'm free. I'm free. And freedom tastes of reality.
Extreme cold is now being used to treat chronic pain. Reporter Lice takes us to Scottsdale to show us how it works.
This machine may look scary to some, but for others, like Rochelle Kiggins,
it's heaven.
After being referred by her doctor for chronic pain, Kiggins came to the American Center for Biological Medicine. She's trying a different approach at pain management called cryotherapy. It's a form of cold therapy using modern-day technology.
Cold therapy has been around for thousands of years. Hippocrates used cold therapy as one of his healing methods.
The patient enters a cryosauna wearing protective gloves and socks. The machine fills with a mist of liquid nitrogen gas. The process takes just 2 to 3 minutes.
It can get as cold as anywhere from 200 to 250 degrees Fahrenheit below zero.
It's cold, but it's not unbearable. It doesn't burn, it doesn't sting.
The process of moving the body to and from a hypothermic state improves blood flow, which helps treat different conditions.
Sleep insomnia, pain management, and depression.
Although cryotherapy has been known to have very minimal side effects, Alvarez warns that in order to avoid burns,
the technician has to know what they're doing.
But for Kiggins, the minimal risk is worth the rewards.
So when I started coming, I had a pain level of about 8-9, 24/7. And within a couple treatments, I was down to about a 5-6.
From Scottsdale, Lice Darrow, Cronkite News.
For many parents, a new school year means the return of an old problem, head lice. Michael Gordon joins us with details.
Lice becomes common during school months as children cluster together in classrooms, making them easy targets for infestation. But a group of Arizona women have taken up the charge against this issue.
I love my job and I love what I do.
Angel Cron's always wanted a job that kept life interesting, so when lice outbreaks occur around the valley, she's more than happy to take the call.
And I'm extremely passionate about it because I've been through it and I know what it's like to not be able to get rid of lice.
Today, Angel finds herself helping a young girl whose hair has become home to about 100 adult lice and 1,000 eggs. Lice infestations are more than just a nuisance, especially in schools, where one child's lice can spread rapidly amongst classmates. And for children who do develop lice, they are quarantined, kept out of school, and made to miss classes until the issue is resolved. And as Angel has learned, it can be picked up by anyone.
People think of lice as being dirty, and that definitely 100% is not the case.
School infestations keep her and her coworkers busy, Michelle Earle was the first lice lady, starting the business in 1997 after dealing with lice that her daughter had brought home. Traditional remedies didn't work.
It was like, there's got to be something better that I can make myself. And that's when I made the TLC shampoo, was able to get rid of the lice in my daughter's hair.
She drew upon her previous experience as a nurse, making her own lice shampoo using natural ingredients. The lice ladies treat not just the child, but the family and the home to get rid of the blood-sucking bugs.
I was not able to sleep when my daughter had it. So I know that I've heard so many moms say, now I can sleep. Now I feel like I can sleep.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimate that anywhere from 6 to 12 million children ages 3 to 11 become infested with lice each year. Michael Gordon, Cronkite News.
And a Valley organization is helping train dogs to do amazing things. But we're not talking about catching a frisbee or even catching criminals. These dogs are saving lives. Meet Reagan. She is one of Arizona Golden's disability service dogs and is undergoing training so she can be paired with a family in need.
Our training of the dogs and getting them socialized and handled and stuff about 2.5 to 3 weeks of age, before their eyes and ears actually open.
Doherty says between 12 and 14 lives have been saved this year alone by medical alert dogs. One of those saved is 8-year-old Cole, whose family depends on their dog, Bandit.
He is actually a seizure alert dog, so what Bandit does is he checks in on him. He'll even just look at him and know that he's moving, he's fine, or if he's not moving, he'll try again, and if he still doesn't get some sort of response from him, that's when he'll alert us.
Among other conditions, Cole has cerebral palsy and epilepsy, and up to 10 serious seizures a week.
Before we had the dog, I would get up and go and check on Cole every hour to 2 hours, every single night. Not that I knew that I could do anything, but I'd go in there and make sure he was still breathing.
Unfortunately, not everyone can afford a service dog as soon as they need one. 22-year-old Jennifer was diagnosed with epilepsy.
I'm not even sleeping alone in my room. My mom has to sleep with me. I can't take a walk by myself. I have to be with somebody 24 hours a day, so it would give me my independence.
More than anything, Jennifer and her family just want her to be able to live the most normal life possible.
I'm working on my bachelor's to get a social work degree and minor in psychology, and then I'm gonna work at hospitals. The dog's gonna not only help me, but it's gonna help others too.
Jennifer has been fundraising for several months. So far, she's raised $1,000, but she still needs more than $16,000 more. Let's go back to Megan with what's ahead.
Well, I don't have puppies, but the Phoenix Suns have big plans for their upcoming season. Cronkite News reporter Elle Johns fills us in on what fans can expect. And welcome back to Cronkite News. As the Diamondbacks' dismal season has finally come to an end, there is a new ray of hope for Valley sports fans as the Phoenix Suns get ready to open training camp tomorrow in Flagstaff. Today, reporter Elle Johns discovered some excitement with the team's new roster. Elle, tell us about it.
Well, no matter their final record, the Phoenix Suns will make NBA history this season when they put two sets of brothers in uniform on opening day. A team's success often comes down to chemistry, and in the case of the Phoenix Suns, good DNA is more than just a figure of speech.
See, they brothers, we twins, so it's a little different.
Suns fans enjoyed watching twins Marcus and Markieff Morris anticipate each other's moves last season.
Today we picked up a basketball. This has been our dream to be on the same NBA team. We did it in college, did it in high school, and now, Suns made our dreams come true.
Not to be outdone, star Goran Dragic is now joined by his brother Zoran.
That was my dream, of course, to play someday in NBA, and I'm very thrilled.
Not only does the team have lots of new faces, but also big plans for the upcoming season. Quiet during negotiations, Eric Bledsoe says he's excited to be back on the court in a Suns uniform.
I wanted to be back here. I'm not a man of a lot of words, but I did want to be back here.
We feel with the guards we have on this team, the way our big guys can run, that we should be one of those top 3 teams in pace.
And Hornacek says that talent plus a little brotherly intuition could lead to the playoffs in 2015.
When you have Marcus and Markieff out there, it's like obviously they've played together forever, so they know each other's moves.
Tomorrow the Suns will be in Flagstaff for the start of training camp, and Cronkite News will be there as well to get a closer look as the team takes to the court for the first time. I'm Elle Johns for Cronkite News.
Well, that's it for Cronkite News tonight.
Thanks for joining us. Good night.